So today I'm going to argue against my video from yesterday and give you the other side, the you should just do approaching and not do online version of the argument. Because I think I've seen things from both angles and I have a good understanding of living the lifestyle, I guess, of doing both and what the disadvantages and advantages are. And at the end, I'll tell you my overall conclusion and what I actually think. But let's get started on what are my big reasons for doing approaching, as in approaching a girl in real life versus doing just mostly online. And I'm going to start by saying that if you've never been able to approach a girl in any situation, and as I said in the last video, I am grouping approaching all together into making it the most fundamental form, which is just being able to tell any girl, whether you know her or not, that you find her attractive. If you've been unable to do that in your life up until this point when you've seen this video, that's something you need to fix. Regardless of whether or not you think it'll be easier just to start dating through online, you need to be able to tell girls in real life as a life skill that you are interested in them. This is just something that guys have to do. It is the reality of being a guy. And I can't imagine any reason why you shouldn't be able to do this. So I would say if you've never been able to approach, you need to learn how to do it. You need to, for the lack of better words, you need to just grow a pair and learn how to tell girls you like them. And just as simple as that. Now, obviously there are levels to that. Telling a girl in your social circle that you're into them might be scary, but it's probably a few levels below being able to go up to a random girl in a bar that you don't know and flirting, or even more so, going up to a girl in the daytime, which by my count is probably the scariest thing you'd ever learn how to do, is to be able to go up to a random girl in like a shopping center or on the street and just be like, hey, you're cute. That's like the hardest level probably, but we can have those arguments. But yeah, I just don't see a reason, if you've never been able to do it, to not be able to do it. So I'm going to say, if you've never been able to do it before, drop everything and learn how to actually approach girls. Having said that, the better arguments for why approaching rules are more to do with the following two reasons. Number one is the sheer number of opportunities and the widening of your dating pool that you increase by being able to approach. The reality is not every girl is on online dating. In fact, I think it's something like, I've heard numbers around like 10 to 20% of girls have online dating profiles. My personal experience, having spoken to girls while online dating, is that they don't have it all the time. A lot of them will like fire up the app when they're like lonely and single, and then they'll delete it once they've found a guy. Or if they're just randomly looking for a hookup one weekend, they'll load it up and then they'll delete it afterwards. So it's like one of those things where it's quite a fluid situation with girls as to whether or not they even have online dating, and the overall percentage of women who are going to be online dating is not going to be that high. This gets very muddy when we start talking about Instagram and like sliding into DMs and stuff like that. So I'm not so sure where to group Instagram, because that's like social media game or dating, and we're going to ignore that for now. I don't have too much experience with it, but yeah, a lot more girls are obviously on Instagram. So. But yeah, typically, if you're able to approach in daytime, nighttime, within your social circle, your opportunity and the amount of girls you can speak to and potentially date is way wider. And there's a really great feeling of like just opening up this like world of other possibilities of dating, as opposed to just being stuck with the tiny percentage that are on Tinder at any one time. So that's a great reason. The second reason is just how much of a boss you feel, like just being able to do this. It's one of the greatest feelings, I guess, of my life, that I was, for like the first 2 weeks I was able to approach, and I actually had two girls I ended up sleeping with, and I went on like 6 dates with them total, so like 3 dates each. And I was just like, wow, it's like I made this happen. I actually went up to these girls that I didn't know, told them they were cute, got their number, and I managed to eventually sleep with them. That's pretty fucking crazy. And I talk about this in a longer story of like my experience, my first like 2 weeks of experience with cold approach. And it's like Andy from Coder and the Loser talks about how masculine it makes you feel, like this ability to like overcome your fear and anxiety and just go up and like tell any girl you see that you're attracted to them. And the other thing I like about it is like Chris talks about how he wants it to be like not like something you go out and do. Like with pickup artists, they talk about like sarging and like day gaming, and they talk about it in this really kind of weird, geeky way. Whereas Chris from Good Looking Loser, he just wanted it to be something you could do. Like if you're out grocery shopping, like after work, you see a hot girl, you just be able to be like, hey, you're cute. And like that was the whole point. It was meant to be something that you could do like casually when you want to. And the whole point of it is more to remove this like barrier you have when you see someone really attractive and you're just too afraid to say anything. That's what Chris wanted to do. And so yeah, it's like really cool and masculine to just have the balls to just go up to any girl you ever see in your life and be able to appropriately, obviously with socially appropriately be able to hit on them, and obviously take your rejection if you get rejected, but also take a number and set up a date and go from there. And the ability obviously to do it in like bars and clubs is what most guys are able to do drunk. But we should, like, I feel like if you're taking this seriously, you should be able to do it sober, and you shouldn't need to have like to develop a drinking problem to be able to like get laid in clubs. That's just ridiculous. So yeah, I see some great benefits. What else would I say? Yeah, realistically, if you can make it something that you can just do casually, it won't be something that takes up a lot of your time as well. I think that what I said in the online dating video was like online dating is so much more efficient because of how little time it takes you to use the apps. Whereas approaching can take time because you obviously have to go out and get good at it and actually be able to do it consistently. But as with Chris's goal was to get you to a point where you could just do it whenever you wanted to and never have an issue in the future. So that's where I think I'm going to finally land with my summary and my conclusion. You should mostly be using online dating as a primary source. I feel these days it's much more convenient, and if you want to be working on other goals, which you should be eventually, you shouldn't be working on dating forever. You can be using online dating for the most of your life because it will be the most efficient one, but you should have the ability to approach when there's an opportunity to. So that'd be the best possible balance, is to have like a casual amount of approaches you can do during the week, and then you can obviously use online dating whenever because the app's not too intrusive. That would be for me, that's the best balance you could possibly find. All right, I hope you've enjoyed these two videos, and watch out for my next video. Peace out.